Hi guys, this is Miss Acton, here to teach you some reading this week. So the way the week's going to go is that today I'm going to be teaching you about these cool tools called binoculars. Hopefully you've heard of them before. If not, I'm going to try to fill you in with some information about them. And the reason why we're doing binoculars is because you guys actually have a test to take on Thursday this week about who, what, when, where, why, and how questions and inferencing about nonfiction or informational text. So this is kind of what we've been practicing, with our copy text and Miss Just worked on last week. So today, we're going to be working on learning about binoculars. You're going to be reading an article about binoculars and answering questions about them, and I have a cool video to show you about them too. Then tomorrow we're going to be learning about icebergs, which are these giant blocks of ice that are in the middle of the ocean, and they can be pretty dangerous, especially for ships in the ocean. And then Thursday, we're going to read an article about Titanic. And the reason why we're learning about icebergs and binoculars is because those two things are the reason why the ship, the Titanic, had a very sad ending to its career on the ocean. And then that same text that we read on Wednesday that has information about binoculars and icebergs in that too, we will be reading that same text and taking a test on it on Thursday. So you will see that article and you will know about two main things that are going on in that article, binoculars and icebergs, from today and tomorrow's lesson. So this whole week is building upon you guys being able to be successful on that test on Thursday that we're taking. So hopefully all this will start to make sense when Miss Acton gets started. So let's get started learning about binoculars today. So remember, this is an article about binoculars. You may not be too interested into it, but it's going to help you whenever we get to the article about the ship Titanic, okay? So first thing I want to do is I want to go over our we will, I will statement. So we will answer and ask questions about a text. Today is a text about binoculars, and make an inference about the text. Okay, and then you will, or I will ask and answer questions. So that's what you're going to be doing. So the first thing I want to do before we start reading this article about binoculars is I want to learn about them first, because some of you guys may have no idea what I'm talking about when I say binoculars. So I want to show you a helpful video that I found. This man bird watches for a living. So he goes out and watches birds, and birds are normally high up in the trees. So you need something that's going to make them seem closer so you can see them better. So let's watch this video.
There's a tool you're going to have to learn how to use on your way to becoming a birding master. It's these guys here. Binoculars.
Binoculars.
When I was 14, I spotted a peregrine falcon eating a pigeon on my windowsill in the Bronx. I never looked back. I'm Jason Ward. This is Birds of North America. All right, here is Binoculars 101. Right here on the center of the binoculars, you notice two numbers. The first number you see there is an 8. That tells you how much magnification you have on your binoculars. That second number that you see there is a 42. That tells you how much light you have in a low light setting. Next are these eye cups. If you do not wear glasses, you want to roll them right up as you see right here, and they'll work for you. Next, you have to close one eye, like this. Bring your binoculars up to your
So he's
eyes.
teaching you how to set the
Focus this
binoculars
diopter
so that the vision
until you
isn't
can see
blurry
clearly
when you
out
use
of your
them,
right eye.
and so you can see what you're trying to look for. In his
Finally,
case, is
you want to
birds.
focus your center dial. Bring your binoculars up to your eye. Move this center dial until you can clearly see the bird you are trying to watch. So one of the mistakes a lot of people make their very first
This part's
time
really
using
funny.
binoculars, they try to find the bird while looking through their field of vision. You're never really going to find the bird that way. What you need to do is stop, listen. Wait, actually, I think I'm hearing something right now. It's coming
I
from
hear
this
it too.
direction. It's a chip.
I hear a
movement.
chip or a chirp.
It's a beautiful male Blackburnian warbler. That fiery orange throat, large wing bars. That's such a beautiful... There it goes. So you have to savor those moments. You just caught a glimpse of a beautiful migrating jewel right here in the heart of New York City.
So, and then the rest of the video just shows how he got interested in this. So, I thought that was really funny because he had a man like hold a video of a bird to pretend like he was seeing one. And so he was basically showing you why would you use a binoculars for his profession, which is bird watching. That's why he would use them, is to get a closer view of a bird. But for other people, it's just being able to see things far away. So my husband, he hunts. He goes out into the woods, and he goes out and he tries to find animals to bring them home so that we can eat them. He's a hunter. In order for him to see things that are coming near him, that way he doesn't accidentally shoot like somebody's dog or anything like that, he uses a set of binoculars to look further away because he can't just, aim and fire and then kill somebody's dog. That's not nice. So hunters use those. And you're going to find out in our Titanic text that the people on board didn't have binoculars, and so they weren't able to see this giant piece of ice in the water, and they ran into it and it sank the ship. So there's a lot of different professions that need binoculars, um, so that they can see things that are further away. So let's go into some questions that you might be seeing today. So let's go over the questions really quick. So who can use binoculars at their job? So this question is going to ask you to use your expertise, what you just saw in the video, and what we're about to read in the text, and figure out what profession, what career, what job would use binoculars. So you have a teacher, so simple one like Miss Acton, firefighter, somebody who puts out fires, a chef, somebody who cooks food, and then a bird watcher, somebody who watches birds. What are binoculars used for? So what is a binocular's job? To see in the dark, to see things far away, to see things up close. Or sorry, to catch bugs. To catch bugs. When were binoculars invented? Miss Acton only put an image for the skunk, so I guess they just leave blank boxes for the rest of the stuff on there. I've never seen it do that before. When were binoculars invented? 1825, November 16th, 2020. Hint, that's the day. I don't think binoculars were invented today. Yesterday, the day Miss Acton's dog got sprayed by a skunk, which was also today. My dog just got sprayed by a skunk and I had to give him a bath this morning. Where on your body do you put binoculars? So when you're using a binocular, where on your body do you put them? Your ears, your eyes, your nose, your feet. Why are binoculars like magic? So in the text we're about to read, it's going to ask you, why are binoculars like magic? They're magic because they are black. They're magic because they make things move away. They're magic because they walk your dog, or they're magic because they make things move closer. And this is a how question. How could a ship or boat use binoculars? And there's a little image, visual of a boat with some people on it. And basically, how would those people use binoculars to see that iceberg? My little girl's crying. Let me go check on her. Hi, guys. So I think she had a bad dream. Poor baby. Got her back down. All right, so I was talking about how the ship has these guys on it, and how could this ship with these guys on it, or this boat, ship, whatever you want to call it, how could they use binoculars? Um, so one of the options is to see an iceberg before they hit it, to see a cat that is far away. So again, think about what you're dealing with on a boat, what kind of things would make sense on a boat. So use that background knowledge where boats usually are, use that picture to help you. Are you going to see a cat while you're on that boat that's far away? Just think about that. To watch a bird in a tree, are there trees out in the middle of the ocean while you're on a boat? And to watch Miss Acton's dog get sprayed by a skunk. I think you know the answer to that one. And then the last one where we get to infer. So you're going to make an inference, which means you're going to use what you know and what you just learned from the article. So what you read and what you already know in your brain. Infer on what time of the day a stargazer would do his or her job. So infer what you know about the stars, and infer what you know about what stargazers, how they use binoculars from the text that we read. And you're going to read that here in a second. So would they go out and do stargazing at lunchtime, when the sun is out, at night, or on Saturday? So hopefully you're noticing that a few of these you can answer without even reading the text just yet, just because what you learned about binoculars. We're going to go ahead and read it. So before I do get started, I want us to talk about this visual over here. So this visual, we're pretending that we're looking inside binoculars. So when you look into them, because they're two circles that go onto two tubes that go onto your face, that's what the frame will kind of look like. So instead of you being able to see everything like you're looking out with your normal vision, when you put those binoculars in front of your eyes, you do really see like two circles that connect to each other. That's kind of what you see. So what I'm showing you right here is how you would just see it with your normal vision, looking out of your two eyeballs, and then it gets a little bit closer when you use, pretty good binoculars. And when you get a really good set of binoculars, you can get really close. And if you look at these little bitty like indentions, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. There's like little bitty places, like little bitty specks. Those are actually penguins that are on the side of this iceberg. If you go up to this top part of it, I mean, this iceberg doesn't look too big, but when you think about how zooming in that close and you still can't see that these things are penguins right here, that iceberg is pretty stinking big. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. So let's read this article, and then once I'm done reading this video will be over, and then you can go read it on your own and you can answer all of those questions. Look what I see. Binoculars. Binoculars. You're going to see that word a whole bunch. So that's the word binoculars. Let's clap it out. Binoculars. Got 4 syllables. Binoculars. 4 syllables in it. Starts with a b beginning sound. It's got an AR, which has that R sound that you would hear. Binoculars. Binoculars at the end. Binoculars are a tool that lets you see things that are far away. So things that are far away, you can see them better. They were invented, which means they were created. So somebody created them. They were invented in 1825 and have been helpful ever since. So if you recognize the 1825, you know that that was one of our questions. So remember that number. And if you don't remember it, remember where it kind of is. That way you can scroll back up to the text and look at it to get that question right. So they were invented in 1825 and have been helpful ever since. They are made of a pair of tubes that you look inside. Inside the tubes is glass. The glass is round like a ball, but it's cut in half, cut in two. The very top of the glass ball is close to your eye and it brings things closer for you to see. You hold binoculars in front of your eyes and look into them. Things that are far away, like a bird in a tree, are right in front of you. Bird watchers use binoculars to help them. And we saw that in the video of that guy that was talking to us, and it's kind of in one of your questions too, so remember that. Bird watchers use binoculars to help them. Like when a bird's up in a tree, gets them closer. Ships that are on the ocean use binoculars to spot danger in the water, like an iceberg, so they don't crash into it and sink. Stargazers, or people who watch stars, use binoculars to look up at the night sky. Binoculars really are like magic. And that was one of our questions too. Why are binoculars like magic? So go through, answer those questions. If you need help reading this text again, there will be a link right here above it that you can click on where Miss Acton is reading just the text. You can read it on your own, read it a few more times, and it'll help you really get to the bottom of answering each one of these questions. Use those visuals to help you. And good luck. If you have any questions, contact your teachers. And Miss Acton, gonna say bye now. Bye, guys.